Hello my fibre friends, and welcome to my first tutorial for 2021. Today we're going to be making a premature baby beanie, and I'll go through everything with you. So I'll turn you to overhead and we'll make a start. Okay, so for the baby beanie, I'm using Signet's Kiddies Super Soft Double Knit. It's 100-gram balls, and the colour is called Lemon. I always take my yarn from the centre of the ball, so I'll just pop that there. You will need a 4mm crochet hook. You'll need a tapestry needle and a pair of scissors. So the first thing you need to do is to make a chain, but you need to make a slip knot. And I wrap my yarn around my fingers in a cross so it crosses, and then I put my hook through. So just bear with while I just do it without. I usually do it without. So let me do it my way. So across my yarn, and then I put my hook through, and then I loop it through. So I've got a loop, and I leave a quite a nice long tail so that I can use that to weave through at the end. So I then wrap my yarn, I hope you can see, through my fingers like that. But however you hold your yarn to keep your tension, that is fine, and I always wrap mine around my finger. It's just the way I find more comfortable for me. You can either hold it like a pencil, which I don't do. I hold mine as if I'm like a knife, and then I hold the bottom tail between the two fingers and thumbs, wrap the yarn round my needle and pull through, and I've chained one. Yarn round needle, hook, pull through, that's 2. Do it again, that's 3, and do it again, that's 4. So you've got 4 chains, and then what you want to do is you want to put your hook through the first chain. So this is what chain 1, this is chain 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So I'm going to close the chain, pushing the hook through, yarn round needle, and pull through 2 stitches. And then you've got a little, undo it, then you've got a little hole in the centre of your, and into this you're going to do 8 half treble crochets, but for the US it's half double crochets, and that is the only stitch you're going to use throughout the beanie. So again, so I'm going to chain 1, but that doesn't count as my stitch, and then I'm going to yarn round needle, hook through the hole in the centre, yarn round hook, yarn round hook, and then you're going to take all 3 stitches off. So that is 1, yarn round needle, through the hole, yarn round needle, and pull through. So that's 2. So you put your yarn round your hook, you put your hook through the hole, grab the yarn and bring it through. So you've got 3 stitches. You put your yarn round your hook and you pull through all 3, and you've still got 1 on, so that's 3. Again, yarn round hook through the hole, pull the yarn through, so you've got 3 stitches, yarn round hook and take all 3 stitches off, and that's number 4. So go ahead and do another 4 more, so you've got 8. So that's 5, yarn round hook, insert into the centre, yarn round hook, 3 stitches, yarn round hook, take 3 stitches off and you're left with 1 stitch, yarn round hook, that's 6, pull through, that's 7, pull my yarn round, and which obviously if you're left-handed, always have your yarn on your right side because you're using your right hand to pull the yarn. So if it's on the other side to you, it's more difficult, so always place your yarn on the opposite side of your hook, and it's a lot easier to pull your yarn. Now, yarn round needle, and this is going to be number 8. There we go. So we've got 8, and then I'm going to count to make sure that I've got 8. So I've just pulled my stitch higher up. So this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is number 8. And now I want to insert my hook into this to finish off round 1. So I'm going to put my hook in and just do a slip stitch, and there we have the first round. Now into this round you're going to do, into each of the stitches you're going to do 2 half treble crochets or half double crochets if you're in the US. So yarn round needle, chain 1, that does not count as a stitch, yarn round needle, into the same place I want to do 2 half treble crochets, so that's 1 and that's 2. So I want to increase to 16 stitches. So yarn round needle through the 2, I'll just show you, you put your yarn through the top of the stitch, so you gather up 2 of them, the 2, yarn through and through the stitches. So I'll show you it again, through and then take the three stitches off, so you're left with 1 stitch. So I've got 4 stitches now. So I'll show you once again into this next stitch. So you put your yarn round needle, you put your hook through the top of the stitch underneath and you pull through. So I've got 3 stitches, and then yarn round hook and into the same stitch because I'm increasing. I've got 3 stitches, yarn round my hook, and I'll take them 3 stitches off and I've still got 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue doing, increase into 16, and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so I've got my 16, but I'm just going to double check. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So, okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And I'm going to put my hook and I'm going to join there to finish that round off, and I can check again that I've got 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I've got my 16, and now I'm going to chain 1, and I'm into this stitch here. I'm going to do the half treble crochet, so that's 1. Into the next one, so if you say every even stitch you're going to increase, so then you'll have 24. So yarn round needle through the stitch, that's 1. I've increased 1, whoops, 2. So I've got 1, 2, 3 stitches. Into the odd I do 1 half treble, then into the next one, because it's the even number, I do 2. 1, 2. So I should have what, so what have I done? So if you continue this all the way around, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I've got 6. So the next one is a single half treble crochet, and if you continue round, I'll meet you at the other end and I'll show you how to finish off that row. Okay, I've got 24, so into this stitch here to close it off, I'm just putting my hook through the top of the single chain, and then I'm just going to finish it off. So there, so the first round we had 8 stitches, then we increased to 16, and then we increased to 24, and now all you've got to do is just that's all the increasing done on this, and all you do is just continue working your way round the so chain 1, yarn round hook through the top of the stitch from the previous row, and continue round doing your half trebles or half double crochets. So I'll work this row with you, and then while I do the next, I'll do the next couple of rows, but I will speed it up a bit, and then after that I'll show you what I've done so far. So I've come to the end and I'm back to where I started, so I'm just going to finish that row off by going through the chain, the 2 stitches of the chain stitch from the start of this row, go through and just finish that off. If I can get through it, hold on, let's see, there we go, I see it now. And just finish that off, and as you can see it's starting to curl, so what I do is I kind of curl it in, and so it's kind of, you should have that now. So you've done 1, 2, you've done 4 rows, so we're on the 5th row now. So again I chain it because I use that chain stitch to join the stitch from the last row. You can use a stitch marker to So I've got it. Yeah. So you can use a stitch marker. I don't, because I've done quite a few of these now. But when I first started, so where this chain is, I just put the stitch marker underneath the chain. Now that it's big enough for the chain to sit there, and you know that denotes the beginning of your next row. So we'll do this. I'll do this row with you, and then I'll go away and finish off doing the 15 rows that I need to do, and then I'll show you how to finish the beanie. So yarn round needle, so I've done that. So this is my first stitch, and then I just work my way round. I'll just put that to one side, out my way. So yarn round, hook through the top of the stitch below, yarn round, hook, 3 stitches, take all 3. Oh dear, that wasn't clever. It's harder to do it on on video, because usually I just sit there and I just whiz through, but I'm really conscious of you watching. I'm just working my way round. And as you can see, I am a true left-hander. And it's not hard. Just take your time. There's no rush if you are a beginner. And I think once you master the stitches, you'll be off and running. And that, I mean, I was taught crochet using very, very fine cotton, because I lived in Turkey, and they were making darntel, which is the lace work that all the girls at that time, and I'm talking 1980s, were making stuff for their bottom drawers, you know, for when they got married. And some of the work was amazing, but I'll leave that, what I did using the cotton, for another day, and I'll do a video on that another day. So I'm just about to come to the end of this row. Right, so I'm going to take my marker out, because I've used the last, that's the last stitch, and then I'm going to go into this chain that I made to finish it off, go through the top, and there we have it. That is row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's row 5, and I bought this from off Amazon, and I got 2 for £5.90, and it's a row counter, and 5, and you can wear it on your finger or your thumb. Actually, I prefer it on my thumb, and you just pop it on. So I have to clear that, because I've done 5. So I'm going to go away now and I need to have 15 rows, and I'll come back when I've done the 15 rows, and I'll show you how to do the last row, and just to give it a nice little edge, and show you how to weave your strands into your work. So I'll see you in a while. Okay, so here we are. So we've got 15 rows, and I've joined them together. So now I'm going to take that off, because I don't need that now. Put it to naught. so it's ready for another project. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to, let me show you. I've done like a nice little edge to it. It looks kind of like a little picot. So, okay, so let's start again. Right, there we go. So I've joined them together. So I'm going to chain one, and then in the top of the stitch pull through and do a slip stitch. Chain one, go to the next stitch along, pull the yarn through and finish off. Chain one, hook through the top of the stitch, pull through the yarn and take off. Chain one, yarn through the top of the stitch, pull through the yarn, take it off so you still got one stitch. Chain one, yarn through the top of the stitch, pull through, take the yarn stitch off, chain one. And if you do that all the way round, it will give you a nice little finishing, just a nice little finishing touch to the hat. Chain one, yarn through, pull through, single crochet, chain one, pull through, single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, and just do that all the way around. Single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, chain one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, and you're back to where you started. So you want to chain one, cut your yarn, not too short, don't forget you've got to weave it, and then pull it through and fasten off, and that is, and now I'm going to turn it inside out. I'm going to pull this yarn, don't forget this is at the beginning and I've already weaved it round, and I'm just going to thread my tapestry needle and then just thread it round a few more stitches at the top, and I'm going to snip it off. There we go. So that's the top, and now to finish off what I'm going to do is I'm going to weave this through the hat. So I'm going to weave it through there. I'm going to just, don't go in the direction, and then I'm going to kind of go down a few rows, go across, don't have it going in the same direction, kind of do kind of that so it doesn't unravel. And so I'm going to go down here Then I'm going to weave across. I'm going to weave down. I think this is going to be my last one. And then finally finish off. There we go. So I've weaved the yarn in with the stitches, and you can't see it. Snip that off. Turn your hat the right way round, or whichever way you like, and fold just up a little bit, and there we have our baby beanies. There we go. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to do this, just sit, take your time, enjoy, and how you hold your hook, how you weave your yarn through your fingers is entirely up to you. It is what is most comfortable for you. I can't stress that enough. There's no right and wrong way to hold your hook, and there's no right and wrong way to hold your yarn as long as you get the correct tension. There are tension rings out there, which I bought one, but unfortunately it's only for right-handed, so I don't use it. I just use the tried and trusted way that I control my tension, the way I've always done it, well, the way I was taught really, and it works for me. And as you can see, I've used exactly the same, and my tension is spot on. Don't expect your tension to be fine the first time round. If it is, well done. It really is well done. And if it isn't, don't worry about it. Go down a crochet hook size. Always. And then when you start developing, creating more stitches and learning more stitches, learning more different techniques, then you can get to where you want to be with your tension. There's always a way around it. If you crochet too tight, go up a crochet hook. If you crochet too loose, go down a crochet hook. But my one tip to you would be, if when you start doing projects using patterns and that, always do a tension square. I can't stress that enough. It is so important towards the finishing, especially if you're making jumpers, if you're making cardigans, if you're making clothing, then it's always advisable to do a tension square. So ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed this tutorial, and January is all about tutorial Thursdays, and I'm hoping to continue them right throughout the year. After this, the next tutorial is going to be the basics. I'm going right back to the very beginning. I'm going to go through the different stitches with you. I'm going to go through chain work, reading patterns, the pattern abbreviations and showing you what they mean, reading your ball bands, kind of like here, this donates that you can wash this yarn at 40 degrees centigrade. This means don't bleach it, and this means don't iron it. So, but I'll go through all of that. You can hand wash it, you can machine wash it, but your information on your ball bands is very important too. So I hope you enjoyed. Take care everybody, and once again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, thumbs up, and a nice comment would be much appreciated. Happy hooking everybody. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.